Hello, Americans, and other friends, subscribers around the world. Back here, man. So this morning, not too sure why. Well, I guess I'm the Idaho Hillbilly. That might be why. But I've been getting a lot of questions. First of all, man, my thoughts, and me and Miss Kitty's both thoughts, prayers, and hearts go out to the families and friends and stuff of the 4 college students that were murdered up in Moscow. You know, Moscow's I got an airplane going over, but Moscow, you know, our son graduated from Moscow. And if you go back on our videos, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. But if you go back on our videos, there's quite a few videos, man. It's been, how long's he been graduated now? Maybe 2 years, maybe. And he went to Moscow, and man, I would be freaking out, man, if he was up there right now. He actually, his apartment there, I love Moscow, man. It's, you know, it's a college town and all that. And, man, we have I'd never really, until he went to college there, I'd never really spent much time in the Moscow area. And, man, it's just a great place. We actually, before COVID and all the crazy crap, when he was going to school up there and stuff, was actually looking at some property and stuff up there. But I've had, I don't know, a half dozen emails and stuff asking what I know about, you know, the murders, or if I know anything. You know, there is so much, you know, I've been following it, obviously. You know, man, when you're, like I said, man, when it's right in your backyard, you know, it's, oh, dude, it just breaks my heart. You know, Moscow's about 200 miles from me, 180 miles, something like that. But, this is a difficult video, dude. It just breaks my heart. Those babies, those, you know, those kids, it's so gruesome and horrifying. And you know, man, it's been over a week now, man, and there's no suspects, no nothing. Oh, it's just heartbreaking, terrible. Like I said, my thoughts and prayers, me and Miss Kitty's thoughts and prayers go out to the families and everything out there. But I thought I would do a little, like I said, I've been following this, obviously, since it's happened, since I've heard about it. And it's really, man, you get on, man, you punch it in right now on YouTube, and it's insanity, you know, whether it be the news people or people spreading rumors, you know, and all that. That's the last thing that I want to do, is spread anything that isn't true. And anything that I say, man, is just taking what I've heard and kind of analyzing it and questioning it and all that. With that said, I'm going to go over there's a couple of things that, if it's true and everything that happened before, you know, a couple of things that happened before the murders and everything, and not necessarily to the kids, but in the area within close vicinity of it. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and go over the, what time that they speculate that they were murdered, or, you know, you can get on and, you know, even you folks that have asked me questions and everything like that. I mean, it is, you know, all over. That's the majority of the information that you will get, you know, is around what time they were killed, you know, which was, you know, between 2 and 4 is what they're speculating. And, you know, all that stuff's out there, and I'm not Dude, I'm by no means, an official, or, you take everything I say with a grain of salt, because, man, I just, man, that's all up to the, police and all that, and they're doing their best, man. I've watched all the, the live briefings and stuff on. Dude, it's just heartbreaking. It just kills me. I just really wasn't even going to do, but I kept getting asked, so I'm going to go over a few things. I jotted a few things down. That night, which they were actually killed in the mornings, but late that night, they're all college kids out doing what college kids do. And there's that grub truck, is what they call it. And, that bar and everything, Kevin used to go to that bar and stuff down there. I don't know, probably ate at the grub truck, I don't know. But that grub truck, they have that Twitch video. It's a live Twitch video. And I guess what that is, and man, I mean, we're all filmed all the time, especially folks in the cities and stuff like that, man. I mean, there's cameras going everywhere, and if not, somebody's pointing their dang phone at you. But I guess that Twitch video stream is a live stream, and, and it caught the girls, I ain't going to go in their names and all that. Even, man, all that is out there. There's so much, it's overwhelming how much, stuff there is. Man, we just need to get a hold of this dude. But, this Twitch video, anyway, so they're going over that, and man, I heard some people speculating on it and stuff, saying that Twitch video, and there was a little bit, I think it was one of the moms and one of the girls, the girl was on the phone with her and thought she was getting followed. They've kind of I've seen a couple of things where they're saying the Twitch that maybe, there's some, which I'm sure there's weirdos watching the Twitch, watching the college girls, that. But these, they're kind of, or at least some of these things that I've listened to and watched are trying to connect the Twitch, using that Twitch to stalk the girls, and keep, whatever. That I don't, like I said, man, it's all a grain of salt. I really don't know any of that. But that's what that video when they're at the food truck, and then there's the driver guy or whatever that in the hoodie, and he's the one that gave him a ride home, and I'm pretty sure he's been cleared and all that. But that, I'd never even heard of Twitch or whatever, so is it some weirdo from Twitch, that followed them? Is it somebody that knows? Like they said, man, that it was the party house, so many people had the codes, because I guess the door was coded, you punch in numbers to get in, and it was known and has been for decades, the party house, and so many people have the code, man, so getting in and out of that house, I've heard, just pretty dang easy. And then I believe they all had locking doors on their bedrooms, and I don't know. I don't, there's, the information ain't out there. See, I kind of went off on the thing, man. I'm going to go over some of the stuff that I jotted down, just things I've heard that I found odd, because, man, me and Miss Kitty sat around, having coffee this morning, just going back and forth, and, man, the last thing I want to do is spread any rumors or say anything that I really don't know. That's not why I decided to do this. I did this because people keep asking me like I'm going to know a lot more than anybody else, and I don't. The only things I know is the stuff that I've read and watched and listened to. One thing that I found very odd, and like I said, man, this is stuff that I've just heard and read, so I don't know if it's true. I know I'm not fact-based, man. There's no, I have no idea for sure if this happened. But about a month, a little less than a month before the murders, about 3 miles away from, if you ain't ever been to Moscow and stuff, man, Moscow's not a huge place, man. I think it's 25 or something thousand residents. You get a lot more people because you got the schools, so you get them, but then they're seasonal. And I'll tell you what, man, I've been up there in the summer, man, and it's crickets, dude. That place is amazing. So, about 3 miles away from there, on October 21st, this couple, they're in their later 70s, on their dog, and they let their dog out, to go to the bathroom and stuff, and they actually live on the outskirts, rural, on 10 acres, and they let their dog out. The dog would go out, and come back in, do its duty, and come back in. And on the 21st, they let their dog out and gave it a bit, and after a bit, called for the dog and stuff, and no dog. And I don't know if this was in the evening, or if it was daylight or anything like that. This is just stuff I've read and heard. So, they're pretty distraught about their dog. Their dog ain't coming back and stuff, so they get some friends or family up there to help them find their dog. And in the process of that, one of their group finds the dog, and it was a little miniature Australian Shepherd. And somebody finds their dog, and their dog has been killed and skinned. The only part that had any fur left was on its feet and its head. They skinned it, and then they also filleted it and cut the meat off of, they harvested, like they harvested this dog, and then stacked up the meat. All the meat was there stacked up, and they took the hide, or the skin. And this was less than a month before the murders. Is there any connection in that? I don't know. That's, man, you haven't heard nothing about that in any of this other stuff. This is just stuff I've read, the things going on. Does that sound like obviously some loony? Is that a connection to that? It's hard to say. Now, those folks that was their dog feel like that whoever it was that did that was stalking them or watching them or whatever, because they knew their schedule of when they'd let the dog out and all that. So they feel like that they were being watched, to do this. And then, it was a few weeks before, I should have talked about this part before, but a few weeks before their dog was killed, the old boy was out walking around, and I don't know if he had the rabbit or if it was his rabbits or neighbor's rabbits or what it was, but he'd found a rabbit that was scalped, its head and its ears were cut off and missing. Is that any connection to the dog or to the murders? I don't know, man. But there's definitely some strange stuff going on up in there in their neck of the woods. So I just want, man, that was one thing that I just wanted, man. When I was listening to that, man, I actually, found it a couple different places. Like I said, man, I have no facts, man, and I ain't trying to spread no rumors or anything out there. I've not heard anything from any of the cops or anybody in this investigation connecting those two. This is just from, podcasts and YouTube stuff where I got this, and then I just verified it. And then once it's verified the best I could. Once I heard it from 2 or 3 different sources, I thought, well, dude, that's, is there a connection? I don't know, man, but somebody out there skinning and filleting a dog from head to tail is, pretty damn bizarre, man. you know, to stack up the meat like that and leave that and then take the hide as a, you know, that sounds like a murder or psycho to me, man. And then back to the murders, you know, the two girls that, I guess it's, like I said, this place was is 1 block from where my son lived. And I know the exact, you know, I know the, you know, I don't know the place, but I mean, I've been by that place a bazillion times. And it's crazy, and why it stands out in my mind, I don't know. But me and Kevin were walking out, and we were up there visiting him, and I really don't know what we were walking along for, or what we were doing, but we were down basically kind of by, you know, where that place is. And between his place and theirs is this other dude. Man, the apartments are packed in, and they're all on this hillside and stuff. It is the most sardine, craziest place, man. I slid in my van coming out of Kevin's place, slid all the way down to the main road one time, man, I can't even believe they can legally pack them in like that, man. It is nuts. But anyway, so me and Kevin were walking down, and it was a warmer night and stuff, and getting into the evening. It wasn't dark or whatever, but we get down between his place and their place, and there's, like I said, this big old apartment thing, and there was this guy, I'd say he's probably in his 40s or whatever, and Kevin points through, why this sticks with me, I don't know, it was just so oddball, but this guy in his 40s or whatever, Kevin's all, yeah, that's the campus pervert. I'm all, what? And he's all, yeah, that guy's like 40-something years old, man. And it's crazy because his windows, all his drapes are wide open, and he's in there lifting weights, you know, and he's not some like big burly dude or nothing, you know. He looked like some pervert around in there, you know, so that the world could see him or whatever. And why that? My first thought when this happened is, oh man, they had to go check out the freaking campus pervert guy. Whether he's the, you know, this is years ago. I just thought I'd share that little tad bit with you. I have no details on it, you know, anything. I mean, he may be long gone by now, but why he was in there with all them college kids? Who would want to live in with all them partying little college kids? Back to the murder, man. I go, dude, definitely, my mind's definitely going a bazillion places, and like I said, I don't want to put out stuff that ain't true, you know. I ain't definitely, man. The only reason I even ended up deciding to do something was because I keep getting people asking me about it. So their apartment, back to the murder apartment, the kids' apartment. The first floor down there where the two girls that weren't killed were, it's a 3 levels. It's, you know, 3 stories. And the bottom one, kind of like a basement, but it's not a basement because up there, like I said, you're all on a side hill, so that, you know, there's windows and stuff. But you got the first level, the second level, and the third level. Well, the first level, you know, because this is the college stuff, man. The first level is for the sophomores, and those 2 girls that lived, you know, that weren't killed, were sophomores. And then the second floor was the juniors, and that's where the boy and the girl or whatever, that they were killed on the second level. And then the third level is the seniors, and that's where the two girls were murdered up there. And that's kind of how they, it's kind of how things go. You know, I didn't go to college, but I don't know where I was going with that, but it just breaks my flipping heart. But them girls in the, there was no evidence of break-ins, nothing like that. Whoever did it either had the code to the door, was invited in. You know, there was no evidence of any foul play as far as coming in, you know, the place, no break-ins or anything like that. But, and then my thought on the girls, you know, the sophomore girls down below is maybe whoever it was didn't know that they were down there. You know, I mean, if he'd been hanging out with them, he would have known it. So that's, you know, that it so just breaks my flipping heart. And, you know, you sit there and you just think on it, man. And, man, that's just crazy, you know. And then the cops came out, you know, man, I've heard the term crime of passion and, you know, all this stuff. Dude, I don't, you know, this is just some old hillbilly in the Idaho Mountains, man, but I don't see no crime of passion in killing 3 girls and a boy. You know, maybe they were just in the way. I just don't even know why I'm doing this, but, and, you know, they did on the day, you know, which nobody even called, you know, they were killed early in the morning, and the call came in at 11:58 a.m., so at noon is when, and they haven't released who made the phone call. It was made from one of the surviving girls downstairs' phone, but they haven't released who put the call out there. Oh, dude, it just breaks my dang heart, man. But then the girls... See, and then I did hear some, man, one of the other things I was listening, but I've only heard it once. I asked Kitty if she had heard it, is somebody, and like I said, man, there's so much speculation. There's so many people doing this for views, and there's so many, you know, putting all this stuff out there, you know, trying to be newsworthy or whatever. But I did hear, and I haven't heard it again. I only heard it the one time, man. It wasn't from the Moscow police, the state police, or the feds, or anything like that. But heard, somebody told me that one of the girls downstairs heard something, and it scared her, and she went and asked if she could sleep, you know, in the same bed with the other girl that was downstairs. So they were both in one room. Is that true? I don't know. Man, that's just something I heard. Like I said, man, the last thing I want to do is spread rumors. I think that's about really all I got. That, you know, that's you know as much as I know. You know, if you are paying attention, watching, listening, you know, I don't know anything more and maybe less than most of you about it. I mean, it is flipping horrible. I cannot, you know, that, man, that I did a thing on it a while back, the murder in the mountains, man, up there in New Meadows, where that dude from Washington came over, man, and they didn't have room for him in a sane asylum or whatever you call those things, you know, loony bin or whatever. They didn't have a place for him, so they just turned him loose because he'd already been in trouble. Comes over to New Meadows, Idaho, you know, right here, and ends up killing the guy and the gal at the motel, the manager or the owners or managers of the motel. What in the hell's going on, man? You know, and then there's a bunch of stuff, man. I keep trying to research it, you know, and that's about the little kid in Fruitland that's been missing for over a year. Michael Vaughn. And they've been digging up some backyard down there, this gal, and they've got her in custody, but I can't hear nothing, you know. And that's one of the things that, even with the case of the murders here in Moscow, you know, and the cops and everything, oh, just listen to what we tell you, just listen to what we tell you. Same with the Michael Vaughn thing down there. Then, man, if you don't want people on there speculating and all that, then you probably need to put more information out there so that people can get it straight. Here's my take on that, man. This is not the kind of video I wanted to do, but it just tears me up. Again, my thoughts and prayers and hearts go out to the friends and family, those 4 beautiful kids. Gosh dang, I just can't even fathom it, man. Good Lord willing, and them creeks don't rise. We'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you.